Hi, let's do a quick test of the new software. We're going to do a divide and conquer, and then we do some chopping techniques. So let's first start with level number 6. One of the key things I'm seeing here is that level number 6 has a really good hardness in the lens, and level 5 is too soft, so it's not easy to manipulate. Let's do level 6 first. And then I'm going to give you the feedback until today. I have been doing this maneuver and this technique for a long time now with many people, all the students. I just try to do it with them. The first thing is I'm not going to use continuous irrigation because one of the features I like the most is how the surge or the disbalance between if I enter in 0 and 1, oh no, I'm not seeing it now, it's strange. Because I did other ones that when I go to position 0, I see a big change in the iris. So here, the behavior, the interrelation between the ultrasound, the phaco tip, and the lens, it's amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, there you see. That's what I wanted to show you, when you see that, when you get to position 0 and you see the iris collapsing, I love that. So in this case, look, I'm just in contact with the lens, something I really like to teach, and it behaves perfectly. You see that? And then that's what I love. I think that should be more common here. When you get with no chamber, you get the iris behavior. Look at that. There you go. I love that. So let's try to rotate it. When you get in 0, you see the iris. Let's rotate it to do the other sculpting. And then let's start here again. This is what I love. You see the interaction between the movement on the handpiece, the ultrasound I'm doing, and the sonula. I think that's an amazing, amazing, amazing feature in order to teach. And of course, it would be better if I change my parameters. So sometimes it will make the student to put more ultrasound because the hardness of the cataract is not allowing to. You see that? That was like too deep. Actually, if you do that with ultrasound, you should make a posterior capsule break right there because that's very, very dangerous. That's another tip. Here in the cracking, I love it. It's 100% better than in the past. 100%. I'm telling you that it's so realistic and it's amazing to train somebody. But what I would like is to be more difficult to achieve. It's not as easy in the lens, You need to go down. You don't need to be as permissive. For example, in this case, the second instrument is too superficial. You should ask people to be in more depth in order to crack it correctly. Okay? And I love the way that it behaves. It behaves with a high fidelity. In this case again, let's crack it. Amazing, high fidelity. High fidelity. Let's rotate it again. But in divide and conquer, I think the improvement, it's incredible. It's like, again, it's not about fidelity, it's about how much you can teach, but with high fidelity, I can teach much, much more, and this is the most complex thing to teach because it's a lot of decision making, right? Something very important here, what I always say to my students is, you go in position 2 until vacuum rises, like there, and then it comes to the safety zone. Sometimes, it's not easy because you don't have the space. So I like the interaction with the anterior capsule, and I like that. But what I'm seeing and what you're going to see is that fragment tends to go up. You see that? It goes up. That's something we should really look into and try not to make it as easy as that fragment to go up. And the other thing is, as much as you can improve, that the person who is doing the ultrasound is seeing that the point is occluded, it will be good. For example, this is what I do in my cases. I do 2, 3, 2, 3, and I like to eat the fragment, you see, in the level of the iris. That was like perfect. But if somebody comes and tries to do it that way, look how it goes up. You see? Up. It goes easily up and it moves too much and too fast. This should happen much slower, very slow, and also with the point occluded, okay? And it should be slower and more difficult. You know, you need to do 2, 3, 2, 3 in order to do the nuclear extraction. But again, I'm telling you, there's a huge improvement from the last lens. I am loving this. I can teach so much with it. But those 2, 3 little things, if they're easy to you, I know that it's not easy to make changes, but I think it's a lot about velocity, you know, the speed of what happens, and just 2 or 3 more tricks. I don't want that fragment to go so fast, so easily to the endothelium. And the interaction between structures. Let's do level 5 to see if there's an improvement. Again, I really like this. I really like, for a contextual interference point of view, I really like that you're going to try to put two different hardness of the lens. As you can see, this is much easier to do. Something we could play with will be that, okay, if you have a soft lens, the ultrasound, the optimal ultrasound should be, let's say, 35 to 40%, and then in the hard cataract, the ideal ultrasound should be more. You should force the person to do 55 or 60. Another thing that happens, you know, is that when you are doing the case, sometimes you don't get enough depth of field in order to see what's in the back, in the downside of the trench. Sometimes you need to play with the microscope. That's something we should. You are engineers, you are the experts, but we should really, you know, force people that if you are focused in the cornea or in another place, I'm loving that. But I'm loving that, and that should happen. If I'm in position 0, you know, you should make that. You should make the iris go down and just have no camera, because that's a big problem to somebody who is in position 0. Let's go again. As we were saying, you know, this should be a softer cataract. The interaction between the structures is amazing. Also, another thing I saw is if you break the posterior capsule, it breaks much more realistic. I'm pretty sure you did something about it, because something in the past was different. Now it's very good. This should be, you know, much harder. I love that. Again, the person who gets in 0 should be, you know, aware and have that surge, because that's a big problem. So they train to be in position 1 at all times. Look at that. So, for example, there, I'm too superficial to crack. You see, you should make it very hard for me to crack it like this. You should force me to do this. You see? Good. Let's go for quadrant removal. And then again, I'm eating great, but you know, it goes up. This is something. And again, as much as you can make that. You see the last fragment? The last fragment, I loved it. Why? Because it was occluded. Here, there's no occlusion, but the fragment disappears. So that's something you should really work into, because the fidelity of that, it's extremely important in order to teach, you see? And this should happen much slower and much more difficult, just as much as you can. If you do that, we're gonna have the best software. This is gonna be like an epic upgrade. Good. Okay, position 1, and then remove. Let's go for chopping. I see a couple of interesting things in chopping, since we're probably gonna see each other on in January. I just want to give you a couple of tips so maybe we can start working on it. Okay, so let's do level 1. And let's do the horizontal chopper, for example. Okay, so in this case, I really like, remember one of the things I was talking about was what I really like in the beginning, in the last software, was to have the ball and the line in the first stages. So people have that in mind. That's what I call deconstructing a task in, simpler task in order for people to learn it. So one of the things we're with Renee here, Renee is also doing some tryouts from Jamaica. And what we were seeing is that now it's not easy to go to position 2 and stay in 2. So look, I'm already in 3, you see, and the vacuum is 100. I should be position 1, position 2. It goes to 3 directly. So what I will go position 1, position 2, 3, and go back to 2 with a high vacuum. But it's not allowing me to do that. And that's very important to teach this. The second thing is that the line, it's bigger than the lens. And I think we should really make the line same, it should end, the line should end with the lens. I remember we were talking about the hockey stick. I think that the hockey stick shape will be good. So people understand that you don't only come with the second instrument, but the handpiece should also do that. And look at what's happening. Let's do another one because this is damaged. But what I'm seeing in the chopping is that it's not easy to cut with the second instrument. What I'm seeing, look, is that if you pull, let's do it again. My comment on this is, let's use this one, but if you go 2, 3, 2, that now you can't because there is no 2, okay? But if you bring it, you see, if you try to cut with the second instrument, everything comes to you, you see? The lens comes to you. Now I'm damaging the sonula. But by the way, I really like that. I really like that the sonula is weak, that it makes you be extremely careful. Why? Because you need to fail in order to learn, right? So they need to understand that this maneuver, it's a high-risk maneuver and everything that can happen wrong. Okay, so let's do it again. 2, 3, true. You see the vacuum is not rising and it's already in 3. It shouldn't be in 3, it should be in 2. Let's go with the second instrument. And look, if I pull with the second instrument, everything comes to me, you see? And now I did it partially and I did chop there. Again, amazing, 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 and amazing also that you can eat the lens after you chop. I really like that, so the person does the entire thing. But what I'm seeing is that if you go in 2, you go 3, 2, oh, okay, so maybe you can adjust. Let's put 2 halves to work on it. Okay, let's put 2 halves and do the same thing. Position 1. Okay, I go with the chopper, position 2. You see, there is no position 2. It's from 1 to 3. Okay, let's try to make the vacuum high. Now it's 340, I like that. If I go with the second instrument to the periphery, look how much I pull that lens in order, and I'm not cutting, you see? I should be able to cut more with the second instrument. That second instrument should be able to cut more, because if not, I cannot chop. Let's try to do it again to see if I don't hurt any structures. You see, it's not cutting and I'm doing a lot of strength. Okay, let's try to chop. And another thing is, always need to remember that when you go to the sides, you need to finish the chopping. What I'm seeing very good is that sometimes that cracking happen laterally, and that's not happening anymore. So I think it's a good improvement. And then again, this happens too fast, and you should be clear. Oh, look at that fragment. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's do it with the last fragment to see if I try to make my point of position 1, position 2, 3, 2. That's what should be the 2, 3, 2. Okay? And then look at the second instrument, and the fragment moves still a lot. Now it doesn't move laterally, but it moves like, how can I say, vertically. Let's try to go with the second instrument. It's not easy. Let's bring it anyways, but again, you see, it's not easy to make the movements. Now I did the job. So again, I hope I'm making myself clear here. Now I'm gonna allow Renee to do something, so maybe I get so. Renee, she's amazing. She's from Jamaica. She already finished the course, but I think while she's doing it, I think I can give more feedback to you. So let's do Renee at level 6, divide and conquer first, okay? Okay, yeah, you're ready? Good. And also, if you have any insights, please let us know. This is the only job we have is to learn, to train. You see, you enter in position 0. No, you enter, don't worry. Again, the important thing is the machine is telling you, but if you enter in 0, you should be, with that feature now that is you get without anterior chamber, and that's very good, because you need to train that position 0 is your enemy. Okay? So now you need to start, remember that your limits are the anterior rexus, go in position 3 to the bottom, 3, going 2.
I'm in 3.
But let me see why you're not doing 3. Feiko, it's on. You're not able to do 3? Go to the bottom and more. Strange. Let's start again. Remove it. Or let's see if it was the foot pedal configuration. Go to 3 now, outside? No. Let's see if somebody, I think you changed the settings in the foot pedal. Cutter 1. It should be okay. Continues. And continues sculpting. Feiko. Feiko. Let's try to do it again. No. Strange. Let's try this. Try now. There you go. Perfect. Now you can do it. Okay? Good. Position 1. Enter. Okay, start, going 3. You need to touch the lens. You see, that's what I want them to understand. How sometimes it's certain features are very important in order to teach. And now you need to advance a little bit faster, in touch with the lens, but always remembering the interaction between the lens, the capsule, and the sonula. Advance a little bit more. Come on. Don't be afraid. You see? You are pushing, so that's when I say, okay, think about the setting. Think about the setting of your ultrasound, if it's correctly, because the setting of the ultrasound is the one who's going to allow you of that correct displacement. Perfect. 3, come on. 3, and come back in 1. 3, and come back in 1. Okay, again. Okay, now rotate it. Rotate carefully. Good, and do the second. Position 3, you're in 0. You see? I love that. Ah, that's something I like. I really like, guys. I really like that if you go to position 0, you have that change in the iris and the anterior chamber. That's extremely important to teach somebody who is automatically thinking about position 1 at all times. I think that's an amazing feature. I don't know if you realize that is going to be so important. Okay, careful not to emulsify close to the capsule. And now you start the decision-making process. Is that depth, width, and length good enough? You see, and that's where you make another decision. Is it good enough, or maybe it's too much and you can have a posterior capsular break? Okay. You see, now you did it too deep. But that's again, what it needs to happen in order to learn. Okay, so you're cracking it, and because of the place, you're very superficial. So the machine is very nice with you. What I'm trying to say. So I think it should be harder in order to crack. Cracking is not easy, and actually many people have a hard time in cracking the lens. That should be very important. Okay, again. Good. Careful. Do you think the length is enough? You see, position 0. Ah, nice. I really like that. Good. More. So try to crack it, because you know what? That's what I'm trying to say. Probably it's going to allow you to crack it, but it should be much more difficult. It shouldn't, because you were too superficial and the characteristics of the trench weren't good enough in order to crack it. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Okay, try to crack it again. Now you're in 0. Ah, you see? That's exactly what I want you to learn. That's extremely important to happen. And it's gonna start happening a lot, and that's good, because then your brain is going to say, okay, now I understand, I don't want it to happen anymore. So you're gonna go, as I told you, position 2, have a high vacuum, and then you're gonna start 2, 3, 2, 3 in the safety zone. And I really like that, because you need to crack it, and you need to have the space to bring it to a safety zone, and that's not easy. And that's what we need to change, that lens coming to the anterior chamber so easily, so fast, and so close to the endothelium. The fragment should stay down, a little bit down. I mean, it can go up, but it's not easy to go as fast as, and that's actually something we want to learn. I would love now if we go to Germany to talk about the safety zone and the importance on how you need to deliver ultrasound at all times. Okay, the ultrasound delivery should be something that we should focus a lot in this course. Okay, last fragment, remember, and that's important also to teach. In the last fragment, you need to be very aware and careful, because you don't have the rest of the lens helping you. 2, 3, come on, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. There you go. That's what I really like. Oh, you see that? That was perfect. You were occluded, but now you're in position 0. That's very bad. If you were in position 0 in a human being in that moment, you will break the capsule. No. Enter, and now enter and break the capsule.
And 0.
Yes. Relax, this is simulation. Relax.
Enter
She
in
doesn't
0.
want to break the capsule. No, enter and break the capsule.
In 0.
Huh?
Enter in 0.
Enter wherever you want. I want you to break the capsule. Okay? So enter and just do ultrasound or break it. Because one of the things we were discussing is the way that the capsule is breaking. So go. Okay, go. And now it's much more realistic. You see? Amazing. Again, I think they did a great job here. Now it's very realistic in how you break the capsule. Good. Very good. Now let's do some chopping and then we'll finish. Okay, let's do a chopping at level 1. I want to see how you behave there. Okay? Oliver is here with us. Maybe he should try it too, but we're going to do another video with Oliver then. Another of the mentors here at the campus. I'm going to introduce you guys to him soon. An amazing teacher. We have a new upgrade in the software. So the software is getting very, very good. Now she's going to do chopping. You see that? That's the first thing. When they get in position 0, now you're going to see the iris, the collapse of the chamber. And I really like that because, as I was saying, you need to teach that a lot. Now, in that side, I really like. You know what you did? You were too superficial. You see, if you don't go to the nucleus, you were too superficial there. So the cracking wasn't correct. Yeah, don't worry now. Just remove everything. Let's try another one. Let's try it again. Let's go to level 1. Let's do it again. Good. Position 1. You enter, you rotate, and then remember my comment in chopping is that the problem was with position 1, 2, and 3. You should be able to do position 2 and the vacuum rises when the point is occluded. Do a little bit of 3 and then go back to 2. You need to ask people that. You see now, no, but wait, because you're not occluded there. You don't have high vacuum. Wait. Remember, first things first. The first thing is you go in position 1. Then you go to the lens in a way that you can occlude. You can just slightly put it like this. Okay, now you do position 2. Well, it allows you to do 2. Come on, more 2. A little bit 3. 3 and 2. You see, good. It allows you now to go in 2 with high vacuum. There you go. Now you go with the second instrument. You see, now it's allowing you to go in position 2. Nice. Maybe it was the cataract 1. No, and then you did it. You did a kind of a good job, but you were too superficial again. You see, amazing way to learn. What I will improve is the cutting ability of the second instrument. Good, remove. Okay, so thank you very much. We see a lot of improvements. We're very happy, right? We're very, very happy. And especially me that I see they have a tool that allows me to train people in a better way. So let me know if there's any doubts about my comments. I'm going to write them down too. And then we're going to see each other in January if everything goes well.